Hey, Linux Smith. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Fireball, welcome in. Ooh. I will gladly take a first turn crit. It's a perfect fight. Hey, Cali Rill, welcome in. Power Shrug. Hey, Charlie, welcome in. Oh. Hey, Commodore, thanks so. Probably gonna get burned just like last time, but gonna skip healing there. Take that much damage from the behemoth. I got burned last time I did a run because enemies in the forest just ganged up hard on Benjamin and upped him. It's both, Dragonauts. It's no glitching key items and no getting infinite seeds, which are the two usages of the shop glitch in an any percent run. Hey, Arku, welcome in. See luck? Not being able to get infinite items doesn't really change the route that much, because I spend pretty much all of the money I get on seeds, which just ends up working out to be enough seeds for the whole route. But not being able to glitch key items changes the route very significantly, because it means I have to do all the dungeons in invented order. Yeah. That was a really good segment, though. Got the first turn crit on the behemoth. Didn't have any misses on the two required fights in level forest, and then didn't miss on Minotaur either. Hey, OX Dash, welcome in. But yeah, I mean, if the only thing you could do with the shop glitch is get infinite consumable items, then I wouldn't really care. And the reason I prefer to run no shop glitch is because of what it does to the what it does when you can glitch key items out of thin air. Find the game more interesting and fun to run without that. Re-rolled that fight to get 2 worms instead of 3. I will be doing again here. This game is pretty infamous for the amount of randomness a lot of the fights have, but the RNG with enemy formations for regular encounters is kind of a subtle thing that adds up. We'll be dealing with RPG Jerkbird soon enough. Well, soon enough meaning in 2-ish hours. After getting unlucky with the Tristram miss. A parked car, yes. Game soundtrack is top tier. This theme being no exception to that. AW Phantasm. almost a sub 10. Probably would have had it if I hadn't had to re-roll a couple fights in here. That's in the Halo victory. Power Shred. Hey, team kills, thanks a lot. Yeah, Magus has been doing the shop glitch ever since it was discovered. I don't think he has any interest in no shop glitch. Likely because, I mean, he was running the game long before the shop glitch got discovered, too. Yeah, I think he's only... I mean, I know his interest in this game is pretty sporadic, but whenever he picks it up, I've only ever seen him do any percent the past couple of years. I just finished a long chain of side quests involving Ashton. That narrows it down at all. I've actually never played Star Ocean 2 at all before, so I don't really have a ton of perspective on how far I am in the main story. No, I'm playing on normal mode, Galaxy mode. I'm liking it, I mean... I feel like I've probably got an interesting perspective, given that I never played the original game. But for it being my first experience with Star Ocean 2 at all, I'm having fun. Oh, really? That's interesting. I haven't really recognized any of the voice cast from other games or anything yet, except maybe from the remake of Star Ocean 1 that I played last month. Hey, Space Caddy. Oh, my pleasure as always. Glad you folks had a good marathon. You're always welcome back. I guess, yeah, that is something that actually surprised me a little bit, given how much promotion the game got, is that they didn't do a new English dub for it. I have been a little surprised at just how much unvoiced text there is, compared to, like, the Crisis Core remake that, like, literally everything was voice acted, including all of the NPCs and stuff. Hey, Lisa, good evening. You're doing alright? Break them worms. I did notice that in the config options, yeah, that they have a new Japanese audio track for the remake, but I never I have no interest in playing games in foreign languages, so I'm not gonna I'm only gonna do the English. Yeah, and from what I remember hearing too, the PS1 voice acting wasn't very good too. You know, tear into pieces sounded more like pear into peaches because of how muffled it was. Locate some seeds, by the way. Maybe consider doing it on that fight. Yeah, I got the PS2P version of both Star Oceans when they came out, and just never played either of them. Just never got to the top of my backlog. I played the PS4 port of Star Ocean 1 remake last month, and I'm glad I gave it a try, but I didn't really, honestly. It was felt like a bit of a slog to get through. It felt just very, very dated. And I just never really got into the story or characters either. So hey, XCast, come in. Oh yeah, I mean it's the HD 2D style that Square Enix has been doing for a lot of their remakes lately. I think it's fine, although I'd prefer not to see that become like the standard for all retro style turn-based RPGs. But I do appreciate how, especially for like a remake of an older game, it lets them preserve the original sprite work and character animations and stuff, while still opening the door to doing more modern stuff. Yeah, like something I've said many times is that if this game were to ever actually get some kind of remake, what I would really want to see is a pixel remaster style remake, because I don't think you can remake this game in any other way while still retaining its original charm if it doesn't have the original sprite work. I would also love to basically hear a like a rock cover band playing the soundtrack to this game in a pixel remaster too. No real issues with getting confused. Let's see it. Alright, not a bad cave. Remake it as a gacha, that would be special. Have microtransactions for which floor Pazuzu is on or something. Hey, Human Mustard, thanks a look. Do a Stranger of Paradise esque reimagining of Mystic Quest. That'd be pretty amazing. Hey, if they did that, maybe we might finally get some more lore on Ben's hometown that gets mentioned in the first text box of the game and never again. Hey, Monkey, welcome in. My pleasure. Some sublimely chill waterfall music here. I actually don't know if Kazuko Shibuya was involved with this game. Wouldn't surprise me if she was. She was involved with a lot of games, as I understand it, around the time. Ah, okay. It's pretty darn cool that she's still doing what she's doing to, like, over 30 years later, too. I know she's been involved with Final Fantasy ever since the first game, really. I know she was one of the main forces behind the menu interface system in the original version of Final Fantasy 1. Lately, she's been involved with the Pixel Remaster games. Yeah, that is something I do always kind of appreciate, and games is just kind of showing more of the aftermath of what you've been doing. Like one moment like that always stood out to me too is in the first Breath of Fire game. After you liberate, you kind of do your first heroic deed as far as liberating a castle from a monster frog. And if you come back to that town later, which you don't really ever have to do as part of the story, you'll find there's a statue of you in there now. And there's a party going on. Just found that a really nice, memorable moment. Lucky. Very lucky, actually. Dang. Nice. Old. Really, really lucky that confused Phoebe decided to cast Thunder on the boss. Yeah, all you really do in Fireburg is stop earthquakes coming from the volcano. Yeah, the gaming industry these days, for like console games at least, being so heavily focused on remasters and remakes is something I have mixed feelings about, because I mean, I love a good nostalgia fix, the same as anybody else, but I do like seeing like actual new innovation and brand new stories and stuff too. Ice Pyramid goes well, might be looking at my first sub 40 Ice Golem kill. I mean, admittedly, isn't anything too wild. I mean, I know Elmagus regularly gets like 36s. Yeah, I guess as much as that sucks, I guess that is a valid argument. Hey, Zardia, thank you. This is a nice start. I feel like I'm due for some kind of PB after Zuzu finally cooperates. I don't think I've actually gotten a floor 6 run yet since I started doing runs of this game again. Of course, I mean, I also haven't gotten to Pazuzu's tower with enough of a lead yet for PBing without floor 6 to be on the table too. If I'm like 3+ minutes ahead, then getting like a floor 1 PB is certainly possible. Hey, Chuck Cuomo. Thank you. Hey, Rorstorm. Yeah, I've actually been doing a fair bit of casual gaming the past 2 weeks or so, because not only the Star Ocean 2 remake, but also the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection that recently came out too. It's a series I'm a big fan of, and been kind of itching for an excuse to replay. And then they announced the new collection. Oh, nice! Congrats on the first place finish. Getting a high place finish in that does not look easy at all from what I've seen of other people streaming it. Again, getting a crit that actually costs time because of having to do having a second death animation. All these crits on Squidite. Hey, Corporate Image, thank you very much for the raid, good sir. You're feeling ready to go for the Questing for Glory run soon? Thanks for the luck as well. Yeah, Corporate Image here is going to be running, I believe, Golden Sun 100% for Questing for Glory next week, which is the marathon I've been de-rusting this game for since I'm on the backup list. Hey, Chop Cheese, thanks a lot. Wouldn't surprise me if they just do it in like big batches every like week or two. And they'll definitely get to it enough though, certainly well before the event. Very, very good Ice Pyramid so far, by the way, and I'm sure I just jinxed myself, but no fights have had any big blow-ups yet. I haven't gotten like every optimal formation, but with the formations I have been getting, still significant issues yet. What? Second. I would say so. I mean, this is my first time playing Star Ocean 2 at all. I never played the original game or the PSP remake. I don't really honestly have a ton of experience and nostalgia with the series at all, too. I mean, I did play Star Ocean 3 on the PlayStation 2 when that came out. But after that, the next Star Ocean game I played was Star Ocean 1, Reeton's remake on PS4, which I played last month. Star Ocean? It's something you can see through a telescope. Good evening, Fred. Hope you're having a good weekend. I mean, for me, it's kind of less about wanting to play a remake of Star Ocean 2 and more about just a good remake of a PlayStation 1 era RPG. I think we're going to have our first game over here, most likely. Yep. Wow. Gun could not speed the Sphinx. Oh, that's better. I use a controller. I'm playing on original Super Nintendo hardware, so don't really have much of a choice but to play a controller. Feels like it feels like I'm shouldn't be hitting level 11 until after this guy too. Though good thing. Now sub 40 definitely still on the table. That last fight aside, this was a very nice pyramid. Well, that last fight and bombing the tile upstairs. Ow. Ow. Maybe not. I don't know if I can kill this guy in 40 seconds at this point when he hasn't even in his last phase yet. Hey, got it. Almost a minute behind. Yeah, because I mean, this segment is the best part of my PB outside of getting floor 6 Pazuzu. So I mean, that felt like a pretty clean ice pyramid, I guess, except for the mistake on the top floor and then the Sphinx fight at the end. But and that still lost the better part of a minute to my gold. Keep meaning to actually check how my Ice Golem gold compares to like El Magus's to see if it's like actually an optimized gold or not. that I've just never even come close to it. Like, I think the closest I've come to that gold is like 25, 30 seconds or so in runs since getting that gold. You got the sub 40 Ice Golem kill though. PB is totally assured at this point. Nothing could possibly go wrong in the next 2 hours. Not a thing. A kind of an awkward number of explosives at this point though. I'd ideally like to have 10. As close to 10 as possible. But I think this game could have been released for the NES. I don't think so. I think a lot of the attack animations and the sizes of a lot of the enemy sprites and stuff were a little too much for the NES to handle. I do think it would have been easier to try to adapt this game for the NES than, say, like Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger, though. Time difference between the worst Pazuzu's tower and the best is 10 minutes. There's 5 possible floors for Pazuzu to spawn on, and yeah, it's 10 minutes between the fastest and the slowest. Although, I mean, even the slowest and the second slowest is still like 5 minutes alone, though. So I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. And then like the fastest and the second fastest is like 2 to 3 minutes, I want to say. Nice, okay, only had, what, two Sphinxes, I think. Zoom a little here, but not that much. But yeah, Pazuzu is a big part of why I don't really ever intend to like do any kind of really serious grind of this game. This is always going to be a fairly casual speed game for me. I mean, I do want to get a better time, but getting a better time is going to come from just doing mostly no reset runs until I end up getting a better get lucky enough to get a better time. This is also where the route starts to really diverge from the any percent route, because this is where you would start doing the shop glitch. For this category, maybe like an hour 40 or so. It's pretty deep into the game, unfortunately. That is definitely a selling point to do any percent instead of no shop glitch, is the fact that you're skipping this entire leg of the game makes trying to grind for a good Pazuzu less awful. That's your jam. I don't think this game has really gotten that much new tech since the shop glitch. Like, I'm gonna be skipping the next boss through a different glitch based on having 0 mega grenades, which is why I threw them all away there. But that was known before. That's been known for well over 5 years. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, there really haven't been. I mean, I think the newest innovation this game has really seen in recent years has been the Venus Shield route for any percent, which just does basically a different setup for the shop glitch to make it so you have the Venus key, and you can then just make a minor detour to pick up the Venus Shield on your way through the focus tower, and then have a paralysis resistance on Ben. Yeah, if you haven't seen this before, it's pretty cool. It's more or less, it's abusing a glitch with the Mega Grenade weapon, where if you try to use a Mega Grenade when you have 0 ammo for it, the game will repeat the last field sprite animation that happened on that map, and if that animation was going down an elevator, we get to create an elevator out of thin air. That here, let's just skip gen. Time to jam out to the volcano music for about the next 25 minutes or so. Yeah, I mean, I do unironically like this game. I mean, it was made to be a really simple, beginner-friendly RPG, and I think as long as you kind of approach it from that perspective and don't expect anything super deep other than just getting to have fun for about, 10-15 hours or so casually, and jam out to a really cool soundtrack and do some neat 16-bit sprite work, you should have a good time. If you want to play, well, quote-unquote, this game with a 4-character party, then you'd want to play Final Fantasy Legend. 3, which was made by most of the same developers and just looks and feels very similar, but has way more depth to it. Hey, Rocco, let's look. Yes, being able to jump over NPCs is so nice too. What are my thoughts on the Star Ocean remake? I am enjoying it. I've never actually played Star Ocean 2 at all before, so this is my first time. And I'm having fun. I'm about 12, 13 hours in at this point. Doing Reyna's story on the normal difficulty. Yes, it has, actually. Final Fantasy Legends 2 and 3 got remade. Well, actually, all of them got remade, but only in Japan, unfortunately. Legend 1 got remade on first the Wonder Swan, and then the mobile phones, and then Legends 2 and 3 got remade on the Nintendo DS, but sadly only in Japan. I know there's fan translations for all of them now, though. Kind of as I understand it, the remake of Legend 1 isn't really changed that much, but the ones for Legends 2 and 3 do. Like, especially Legend 3, it makes it kind of a lot more like a romancing saga game, like taking away the ability to just grind levels through experience. Yeah, Legend 3 was the only one I actually played as a kid. Some very fond memories of playing that on family road trips to visit my grandparents, along with Link's Awakening. Alright, worst boss in the run coming up here. This would be why. This fight, I only get to live as long as she decides not to do bad status effects on me, basically, like that. Yeah, the original Legend trilogy's on Switch and Steam now, I want to say. Do so, please. Like backslash, that's definitely needed right now. Medusa doesn't really have that much health, actually. She dies to 6 white casts here, but Ben is very squishy too. Oh, come on. Okay. So that was 2 deaths, one of them kind of costly, and I still saved a lot of time because it's because of how horrendous that was in my PB. But just the way Medusa is designed, being higher leveled won't really help you that much too, because her main threat is status effects, and the only thing that I could have at this point that I don't is the Venus Shield, which gives you paralysis resistance, and that admittedly would have saved me, I think, on the 2 of the deaths. Because of Ben getting paralyzed, but I have no means of getting petrify or confuse protection at this point, which are other things she can do. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I was better leveled, I'd have better chances to outspeed her too, which would be pretty nice. Yeah, Medusa is by far the worst boss fight in the whole run for this category. Running to actually use the seed like I was supposed to, but nah, we didn't. An upside to this category, though, is that I'm about to get the life spell, which makes some of the later game bosses less awful. Like your partner character getting doom danced by like Dullahan or some other late game bosses, and just a total lost cause. Oh yeah, I mean it's not a freebie. I mean, you can still get double doom danced or doom danced and then something else that finishes the job, but it gives you a better fighting chance for Ben to have the life spell. Yeah, it's rude, but at the same time, you do have to double tap on exit to cast it, so you can't. It's not super easy to accidentally exit out when you're trying to use healing or something. Is Ruben the best companion? Absolutely not. Phoebe is the best companion. Ruben is better than Tristram, though. Main thing Ruben has going for him is that for the dungeons that he's with me, he's guaranteed to one-shot any normal monster as long as he doesn't miss. Like that. Ruben missing is always bad news, especially in this fight here too, where I didn't have a spare white cast ready. Yeah, I mean the leveling curve for the partners is, as I understand it, is just it's the level that you should be at the end of your time with them. So like around when I fight dual head Hydra in a normal playthrough, Ben should be level 23, thereabouts. No, he can one-shot gargoyles. He can one-shot anything. The volcano. Gargoyles are I think the highest health enemy in the volcano, so for using the white spell on them, you generally have to have the claw equipped on Ben to raise his magic stat to actually one-shot them. It might be, actually. I mean, it's been so long since I've played this game without using the resistances glitch that, yeah, maybe the stat bonuses that Ruben is getting from Phoebe 2's equipment is just giving him that little bit extra to get one shots. But yeah, in this speedrun, at least, as long as he doesn't miss, Ruben will one shot anything in the 3 dungeons he's with you for. Hey Kip, thanks a look. Medusa was actually not that nice. She killed me twice, I think. Either of them at least the first one, I think, not being the fastest retry, but it was less awful than in my PB at least, right? I think I had 3, maybe 4 deaths. How does the stat loading bug work? So, the way, when you have a partner character in this game, the effects of their equipment only get loaded when you load a save file. And that's kind of a weird thing too, in that it actually persists through like resetting and starting a new game. And then the way it's taken advantage of in a speedrun is that let you have a save file in your cart from the end of the game when you have Phoebe at level 34, and then that makes it because that's the last time you actually loaded a save file, all of your partners throughout the whole game will get Phoebe's equipment effectively. They have like what I think not confusion, but sleep and silence immunity, I think, along with being faster than they should be. Hey Zazman. Yeah, having death immunity armor would be pretty nice for stuff that has Doom Dance. But yeah, the partner resistances glitch is why doing a full-on glitchless category for this game is more or less impossible. Without doing silly stuff, at least, like resetting the game every time your partner changes, which is what you really have to do in order to not have the resistances glitch never take effect. Yeah, I just noticed too that Ruben did 668 damage to a gargoyle, and they have 666 health. Yeah, and the damage formulas in this game have no RNG to them, so Always gonna do the same damage, so he's only overkilling it by 2 points. Hey, Bradish V, welcome in. A drawback to the resistances glitch, though, here is that Ruben does not have fire protection, which he's supposed to. That really hurts on the boss. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just save and reload the game and fix his resistances, but it's not worth it. It also wouldn't be worth giving up the buffs I get from Phoebe's equipment. Yeah, that's pretty silly, really, that they gave Tristram death resistance. Yes, Final Fantasy Legend is Saga in Japan. Like, if you've heard of Romancing Saga or Saga Frontier, the Final Fantasy Legend games were the start of that series. Ben's napping on the job and letting Ruben steal the glory there. There is a 100% category for this game, which is all permanent collectibles, basically. So all weapons, armor, shields, helmets, like items, like permanent key items, not like potions or stuff, and all magic. As far as just 100% runs of RPGs, it's one of the kind of most accessible, I'd say, as far as the amount of time that it actually adds to the run. No, you can't. Enemies respawn when you leave and re-enter the dungeon. Yeah, I've done a few 100% runs, no shop glitch, but most people that have run it use the shop glitch, and it changes the route in kind of a weird, interesting way too. That it works out to be faster to still do the shop glitch to skip Fireburg, but then to come back and do it after you've beaten Pazuzu, gotten Phoebe too. Because then literally every fight in this place is just casting the white spell with Phoebe. Thanks for the luck. Yeah, I mean, been a decent run so far. I mean, Medusa was very uncooperative as usual, but less so than in my PB. Yeah, I mean, Ruben gets the white spell for Mac's ship, but you have so little fighting you do there that it barely matters. Yeah, he's a pretty big downgrade from Kaylee too, that you just moved off of at that point. In the 100% category, though, Ruben does get his kind of a little bit of glory there as far as largely soloing the Thunder battlefield. The battlefield to get the Thunder spell for Ben, which is totally useless, but you need to get it for 100%. And it just kind of works out that Ruben can one-shot all of the mobs in the battlefield with his white spell at that point. I like the third or fourth fight where Ruben missed on the first turn, which is, drags out the fight a fair bit. This one Ben had spare charges. It really, really sucks if you have a Ruben miss when Ben only has one charge left. I will not be playing the Mario RPG remake myself because I don't own a Switch, but I'm looking forward to watching friends play it and soundtrack. Yeah, I do appreciate that that's a thing in most modern remakes of older games, though I was a little disappointed they did not have that for the Live Alive remake. This boss I have to do a very defensive strategy because it's Fire Breath attack and just one-shot Ben, max health. Oh yeah, I'm sure the some RPG speedrun community is counting down the hours until they can speedrun the remake. I mean, I have no doubt that it's going to be a fairly different speedrun from the original game because of changes. Max skip is absolutely not going to still work. I mean, the fact that it works on the original game is just kind of a byproduct of hardware limitations of the Super Nintendo. I think there's close to zero chance that it's going to work on the remake. Hey Tipo, yeah, I've been working on this lately just because I'm a backup runner for Questing for Glory next week. We'll be back to Lufia after that marathon is over. Yeah, it's so silly that they have not patched the stuff from the console pixel remaster releases into the Steam versions yet. Help. I was expecting to have a red there, actually, just because of having some fairly bad fights in this place, but still got a nice comfy 3-minute lead. Yeah, believe it or not, I've actually not played any of the pixel remasters yet. I will play them I will get them either if Square Enix makes more physical PS4 discs for it or has a nice sale for the digital versions. If those has happened yet. Whenever I do play those, the one I'm actually the most looking forward to is FF3, just because I've never played the only version of FF3 that I've ever played before was the DS remake. Pixel remaster is very different. Yeah, yeah. We're talking about games that need a pixel remaster, though. This would be at the top of the list. I would certainly be down for a pixel remaster of Lufia 2 as well. Oh yeah, it does sound interesting. Whenever I do get the pixel remasters, I will certainly use that for my next 4-job Fiesta. Where am I going? Oh, come on. Out. That's a rough time loss. It's totally spaced out on which door to go through. Well, now I won't be sad if assuming Pazuzu kills the chance for a PB. That is a real dumb mistake. Hey, Fo, thanks a look. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm pretty fond of not giving serious answers to what my favorite Final Fantasy is, but at least for mainline games, my least favorite is FF2. I respect it for trying some different things and for kind of being a prototype for what later became the Saga series, but I just do not think it is a I just do not think it is a fun experience. But I guess one kind of underrated thing about FF2, though, is just that if you compare it to FF1, that just how much more like a storyline and characters it has than FF1. FF1's a game where like the only NPC in the game that had more than one text box was the final boss. Which Final Fantasy game battle mechanic do I like the most? Well, if it counts, I guess I would say active time battle. I'm a big fan of active time battle, especially for speedruns, because of how much different of an experience playing an ATB-based RPG is on the fastest possible battle speed when you're doing like little tech here and there to try to manipulate the turn economy in your favor. Clearly the answer is trance, yes. Ooh, trance. Yeah, I know the ATB system on FF4DS is a little strange. Like I know in speedruns of that they you turn the battle speed to its slowest setting, that lets you run away for free basically. Yes, I have played Stranger of Paradise and I had fun with it. I mean, I didn't enjoy it as much as like the Kingdom Hearts series or a lot of other action RPGs that I've played, but I thought it was fun as far as just being a really different kind of Final Fantasy game with pretty cool throwbacks to other games in the series. Especially nowadays when I'm sure you could get it on sale for like 15, 20 bucks or so. I would definitely say it's worth that. I mean, I'm glad I waited for it to go down to like 30 bucks or so before I got it though. Didn't quite enjoy it enough for to see it worth a full retail price. I've known numerous people that like Secret of Evermore more than Secret of Mana. I've actually not played Secret of Evermore since I was a kid, but in some ways I would say it's you can argue that it's held up a bit better than Secret of Mana as far as how some of the battle engine works and stuff. I do appreciate too how Secret of Evermore is just such a unique game too, as far as being a JRPG that was more or less made in North America. Did Secret of Evermore actually get a Japanese version? I want to say no, that it was only ever released in North America and Europe. I was not the biggest fan of the alchemy system, mostly just because of the grindy leveled up mechanics, like in Secret of Mana, and the fact that the ingredients for using the spells were consumable. If you the damage your spells did was just purely based on your level or something, or your equipment or something, or they leveled up a lot faster, then I would have liked the system better. But just on paper, I think it's a pretty cool idea to have a purely item-based magic system like that. Yeah, oh yeah, watching Yagamoth play Secret of Mana is always a treat. Not just because of what a swell guy and amazing commentator he is, but just because of just how encyclopedic his knowledge of that game is. Oh yeah, yeah, I was so gaga about that as a kid that Cecil is in Secret of Evermore. Thanks for waking Ben up. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan, too, of how a lot of the soundtrack was kind of ambient sounds more than music, but it didn't really, like, offend me or anything. I mean, I would have kind of preferred there be some more music, but I don't find, like, the sound effects painful to listen to or anything. It's kind of wild to think, too, that Jeremy Soule, the guy that did the soundtrack for Secret of Evermore, was like 19 or 20 or something, a very, very young age at the time he composed that. Yes. I think the Assassin's Creed games, and then later some Elder Scrolls like Skyrim are kind of what Jeremy Soule is best known for today. Two isn't exactly a huge number, but just off the top of my head, I don't think I can really think of something that has more. Oh yeah. Although I guess has Toby Fox done many other like games and soundtracks besides Undertale and Deltarune? Well, I guess you could say he's involved with Smash Brothers now because of there being Undertale music in Smash Brothers. Pokemon, oh nice. Well, that is a feather to stick in the cap. I want to see as many of these double worm formations as possible, because Kaylee can just one-shot both of them. And all three of them got split then. 2 worms are better than 3. I know the odds of getting 3 worms are higher in this room than the previous one, though. Part of why it's not really worth re-rolling these fights to try to get 2 worms. Yeah. Well, yeah, given that the boss theme in Live Alive is called Megalomania, I mean, that's a pretty naked inspiration, I would say. My Twitch avatar is from Final Fantasy VII. It's Palmer. It's just a random picture of Palmer I found on Google image search, like probably over a decade ago at this point. Yeah, the Live Alive soundtrack is so good, both the original and then the new remaster. That's a big part of why that game works so well too. Like each character's story can almost feels like a different game, and then the music is a big factor in that, making each world feel so different and distinct. Dragon Warrior Randomizer, thank you very much for the raid. Hope tonight's match was a good one. Some Mystic Quest practice, since I'm on the backup list for a online RPG marathon that starts tomorrow called Questing for Glory. I do not have a sub button by choice. I prefer to keep streaming as a pure hobby. Yeah, I work full time in business IT and doing pretty good for myself, thank you. That's part of why I don't want to have direct payments through Twitch. Is this the I don't need it. I'd rather other people get the support. Need it more. Alright, finally almost to the end of this place. I feel like this dungeon is about 2 floors longer than really needs to be, especially with all the backtracking you have to do to get in here. The claw can actually kill that left one now, even if it doesn't proc. Well, it procs, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, the dragon claw can proc both instant death and petrification. Fairly decent chance to one-shot those slimes that I can't use magic on because they have auto-reflect. Is it worth it? Not really. I am not a fan of this dungeon. Like I said, I think it drags on too long, and not the biggest fan of the music either. Like, I think it's fine music on it by itself, but it's not a great dungeon theme, especially for a dungeon as long as this one. That is correct. For pretty much, I mean, I don't think it's bad music, but I think it's one of the weaker entries in a stacked soundtrack. I would still rank it above the theme for some of the cutscenes in the game. Like, when I say some of, I mean the theme that's used for the first part of the ending. Mysterious theme for a couple of the cutscenes, and then half of the ending. I am not a fan of that one at all. Especially when you have to listen to it for like 10 minutes straight. Yeah, all the unique dungeon themes in IOG are bangers. They all fit the mood of the dungeons that they're used in very well, too. Yeah, I admittedly can't really think of anyone else I've ever heard say that. Why I always recommend, if people want to pick up Illusion of Gaia as a speedrun, to don't feel bad about taking the 2-ish minute detour or so to get Freedan for the vampires until you're kind of really sure that you like the run enough to want to get good at it. I mean, 2-ish minutes is not a small detour, but having multiple deaths adds up pretty fast, especially with the cutscene before the vampires. There was a Soul Blazer trilogy relay on the Limit Break channel quite a while ago now, probably like 5 or 6 years or so at this point, but like a full quintet marathon includes like the ActRaiser games and Robo-Trek, I don't think has ever happened. So the next hit should be... And I only lost 15 seconds despite going halfway to Fireberg by mistake. That feels kind of dirty. Well, assuming we're just talking a marathon and not a race or anything, I think finding runners for, I think, ActRaiser 2 and Robo-Trek would be probably the hardest part of organizing something like that. Hey, glow stick. Yeah, PJ is the ActRaiser 2 runner I'm certainly most familiar with. I mean, I know there's been other people, but certainly not many. Yeah, ActRaiser 1 and Terranigma, I guess I'd say are probably the most popular quintet speed games. What has been my favorite game to speedrun? I really couldn't answer that. Pretty much every game I've ever speedrun I've enjoyed for different reasons. Like this game I enjoy running because of the fast decision making. It makes you get good at. And also just an excuse to jam out to a really, really rockin' soundtrack. This bit me last run too, that's still being on AoE. Oh, really, Tifa? That's funny. I do remember renting ActRaiser 2 multiple times as a kid and never getting anywhere close to Deathheim. I think I beat it on easy mode, which you don't actually get to do Deathheim, but yeah, normal difficulty, I think probably the furthest I got was maybe the Tower of Souls. I did beat it as an adult though. It was a while ago, but ActRaiser 2 is certainly a game that's a lot more approachable once you actually know some of the like the cheese strats and stuff based on like how the magic system works. ActRaiser 2 for Secret of the Stars. What? Oh, yeah, okay, I didn't read your message before that. Yeah, I would call that a downgrade. I haven't played Secret of the Stars myself, but I do remember it being one of the few games that Nintendo Power actually gave a bad review to. And I've seen speedruns and some casual plays and stuff and too, and it just it looks like a lot of kind of quote unquote bad games of the era. It has some neat ideas, but they're not executed in a fun way. Oh, into Way of the Ninja. Start. This thing killed. Oh yeah, that sounds very brutal, actually. From a death in a SNES game. I guess you could make the case, though, that any game that has limited continues has permadeath. Yeah, the 7th Saga is a very rough game. But it's a game where the difficulty is kind of what makes the game memorable, though. Because if we'd have literally just gotten the Japanese version unchanged, I don't think people would remember it at all. It's not really bugs, it was just choices to make the game harder, really. Yeah, that sounds about right. Red Python, I want to say, is a very, very common stopping point for 7th Saga playthroughs. Some of the choices for making the game harder, though, weren't thought out super well, though, because like the absolute biggest thing that makes the game harder for the English version is just that when you leveled up, your stat growth is reduced compared to in the Japanese version. But the reduction in stat growth only applies to you. It does not apply to the other 6 apprentices who leveled up as well. So in parts of the game where you have to fight other apprentices, you can effectively softlock yourself if you level up too much that the apprentice you have to fight just totally outclasses you. Yes, that's so rude too, especially how the I think like the instruction manual or something specifically recommends playing as Camille or Camel, whatever you want to call him, for a beginner playthrough. I mean, I always thought of it as Camille, but PJ calls him Camel, and that's kind of stuck, I think. I mean, there is a real name, Camille, but I'm more familiar with the feminine version, which is with the C, C-A-M-I-L-L-E. Because I don't know if Camille with a K is like actually a real name, or if that was invented for E7th Saga. Oh yeah, that's right, Zeta Gundam. Yes. Pazuzu is still the biggest single source of RNG in the run. Not the only source, but the biggest. I feel like that's something that's a little kind of overstated, how big a deal Pazuzu is. All of the other RNG in the game combined makes a bigger difference than Pazuzu, but just Pazuzu is the most infamous part because of if you get the slowest possible floor costing you 10 minutes, just like that. I feel like we're kind of at the threshold of potentially still being able to get a PB with a floor 1, which is the second fastest, but it would require a pretty baller endgame. Yeah. Pazuzu is why grinding for record or for like a really optimized run is not for the faint of heart. I mean, to be fair, it's a little more palatable in the any percent category where you're skipping Fireberg because you're cutting out like half an hour of stuff between the start of the game and Pazuzu, so it does make grinding for 4-6 runs a bit better. Have I ever thought of speedrunning any Castlevania games? Yes. I haven't really thought about any specific one, like, super closely, but just given that my online name is Poexel, which is a mini-boss from Castlevania 4, I'm a big fan of the Castlevania series, and feel like at some point I at least should speedrun a Castlevania game, but haven't gotten around to it yet. That would be Joe D'Amelio. That's the runner that has a picture of me for his Poexel split. He actually just started streaming again recently too, after a couple of years break. Funny, because his picture of me from in his splits is probably almost a full decade old at this point, but you wouldn't really know it because I've changed almost nothing about my streaming setup and camera setup and stuff since I started doing all of it. I've noticed that too, Rotor Storm. Yeah, that a lot of the streamers I used to watch heavily have just kind of moved on, which, I mean, it happens. People's interests change. To run FF8 probably never will. Well, FF8 is not a short game. There's that price of admission. For the like 7-ish an hour and beyond Final Fantasy games, though, FF8 does seem like one of the friendlier ones, like because of being able to use the GF system to avoid a lot of encounters, and do the junctions to cause a lot of boss fights. Yeah, Rujasu. I feel like, yeah, people that stream in my daytime are really that are on my follow list are really hard to find nowadays. I'm just looking for background noise and stuff. I feel like I've turned a lot more increasingly to YouTube videos than Twitch streams. But like I said, I mean, it happens. I mean, like all hobbies, people's interests change over time as their lives change. I do not do anywhere near as much streaming as I did earlier days. Because in early 2020, I got a new job that just the schedule I'm on just makes it very difficult to have the energy and motivation to do weeknight streams, and I've just kind of embraced that and just settled into only streaming on Sundays. Yeah, it's a good point too. I mean, yeah, that it's easy to burn yourself out on, and I do kind of credit the way I approach that as far as just kind of never forcing myself to do really anything I'm not totally feeling is a part of why I've never completely burned out. I think it definitely shows, though, that a lot of people that a lot of speedrunners that try to do full-time streaming, it feels inevitable that they shift more to doing a lot of casual game content and like randomizer playthroughs and stuff. Speedrunning just to avoid total burnout. Oh, ouch! Was Mr. Chaos the main reason for that? I didn't really do that many runs of Legend 3 because I basically just picked it up as a 12-hour challenge, but it definitely felt to me like trying to do a serious PB grind would have a lot of runs die to chaos. Oh yeah, 12 hours is problematic. Gotcha. Yeah, I remember that being pretty unpleasant too. Getting the meat drop for making Sharon into a pixie before chaos. I remember being kind of sketchy sometimes if I didn't naturally get it off of Dogra. And yeah, the getting the little characters petrified was also an ouch. It's just such a shame that you can't manually petrify or manually inflict status conditions on your own characters like you can in most other games like that, because the spells that cause status effects will heal them if you use them on yourself instead. Hey, Blake, thanks for luck. Apologies for all the slander, Mr. I'm sorry, yeah, the slander, Chaos 625. Yeah, it's been my experience a few times too. There's been some games that I've enjoyed learning the route for and doing a few runs, but then I just feel like I'm kind of good at that point, and Don't really have the desire to try to actually get a good time. Predicament. They blind up hard. Luck. Fight. Yeah, that's an interesting byproduct of just how old FF4 is, that it can't handle multiple status conditions, and it's pretty interesting how there's a priority system for them too, as far as which can and can't override each other. No, I will not be doing a second Mystic Quest run. Finish this run out and then find somebody to host. Oh, okay. If I knew that, I forgot. But yeah, that's cool that a game made in what, 87, I think, when the Famicom version of FF1 came out, that can handle that. I don't actually remember what the priority, because like I don't. The priority system is more involved than matters when you speedrun the game. Like I never really like knew the full priority system from start to finish, but I would suspect it's probably just more based on the order that the code for the battle system processes. You're only gonna give me floor 6 on a run where I walked halfway to Fireburg. I guess we'll call that a min-up then. Well, we got a shot at a PB now. We're a resident Babylonian wind demon, bird god here. Ow. That is a really crappy start, not getting any damage off this turn. Then. Yeah, Chlorian, those are the main status exploits of the status priority system that matter in doing speedruns of FF4. Hey, Omni, thank you. Hope you're doing alright. For a second, if Kaylee was low enough to heal herself. Well, hanging in there is good. Okay, I have to say, please do not kill Ben. Got a lot scarier. Okay, we've... Yeah, this bird is being a pretty big jerk just by giving me a floor 6 run. And a particularly fast tower either. Well, we got a chance though. I will not weep at all if this doesn't get actually PB though, just because I'm pretty annoyed at that mistake I made with walking halfway to Fireburg when I was trying to go to India. But, well, green after Pazuzu is not something that happens very often. Yeah, oh yeah, it was all part of manipping floor 6. Hey, if nothing else, this is going to be a total freebie as far as making my Questing for Glory estimate of 250. And I feel like getting a sub 250 is pretty comfy as long as I don't get floor 2. I basically just set the estimate kind of with the idea that getting floor 2, if getting floor 2 means going over estimate, then that's fine. Good for the comedy, if nothing else. A chain of fetch questing to do, basically, before we get access to the final dungeon. If you are using the shop glitch, you're able to speed this up a bit by glitching the first the Thunder Rock and then the Mobius Crest. Yeah, that sounds fair as far as just the biggest single sources of RNG. I mean, there's a lot more that adds up, like enemy formations, which ones you get. But as far as boss fights, those are the big ones. And really, when we're talking the final bosses, it's really Zoo is the most problematic one. The first two are very easily cheesable, and Twin Head Wyvern isn't really that bad. Hey, Chrono Mark, thanks a look. Exit spell, a good workout there. Very ironic, though, that even though it is possible to glitch the Captain's Cap into your inventory with the shop glitch, that doesn't let you skip Pazuzu's tower. Touching this fight with a 10. Thank you. Eduberon, best attack name in the series. No, I'm not taking this fight. 5 now. Even with 5 rerolls, that's still faster than actually doing that fight, though, just because of the Beholder having auto-reflect. I like to call Max Ship the Final Fantasy IX dungeon of this game because of how little of it you actually have to play to get to the end. Yeah, got a chance. Memory serves, I'm not up against an amazing Doom Castle. Like, I think I've got multiple minutes to potentially save on the Zoo segment. Hey Nacho, yes, Pazuzu tried twice to kill me after giving me floor 6. The petrifying Kaylee, but then he chose to windstorm and not crit with it. So both of the times he could have ended me, I lived. Oh, thanks for the luck. Got a bit of a chance. Level 21 means we need the claw for ninjas. What all games do I speedrun? There is a list in my Twitch bio, and then there's also a link somewhere in there to a spreadsheet that more or less lists every game I've ever speedrun. It's a decent sized list just because I've been speedrunning for 12, 13 years at this point. Some people that run exclusively like NES games or other just short games certainly have longer resumes. Level 22, he doesn't need the claw for the... Oh, nice. I think I've listened to the full Rudra soundtrack yet. Definitely should. Given just how few soundtracks Ryuji Sasai did. Not that I know of. Although, I mean, people were running this game before the shop glitch was discovered, though, and those kind of by nature are no shop glitch runs. Like, even though I'm the only person that intentionally runs no shop glitch, I do not consider myself to have the record. The fastest any percent run that I know of from before the shop glitch was a thing is like a 225, 226 or something. Ow. Wanted to happen the first turn. It's probably healing herself. Phoebe healing herself. Yeah, for sure, Chrono. Hoping Ben wouldn't outspeed Phoebe there. Yeah, same. That's really the only way I would care to see this game get any kind of remake, would be a pixel remaster. Anything else would likely just kind of wreck the game's charm. Yeah, I would so love to hear like a rock cover band doing the soundtrack in a pixel remaster. Particularly cooperative wyvern. Somehow we still saved a bunch of time though, despite that being slow Wyvern. Little of that was my own doing as far as trying to kind of be cheeky and get out of having to use a seed on Ben by having having Ben life maybe instead of healing yourself. Hey, old Draco. Okay. That one through. PM Stalker is a way to translate Night Stalker is so good though. Yeah, I mean, as dated as Woolsey's translations of RPGs are, I think they were ahead of their time as far as, especially if you compare them just to a lot of NES era translations. Yes. So I honestly think it's kind of debatable if this game was actually translated or if the English script was written first and then translated into Japanese. In my opinion, no. Trying to justify that, though, would require more thought than I'm interested in investing at that point when I've got a slight chance at West PB. Evil Weevil, yeah, that's a good one, too. Yeah, Ipu. I always call Ipu the early version of the iPod. Doggos have been going easy on me so far, despite a mistake on the last fight with not using a seed in time. What about Run Amok, Alphacore? PW? Hot Wings is a good one too. The Japanese version, that monster is just called Phoenix, which is boring. Alright, time to fight the true final boss of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. They certainly showed me the business last time. Good start. Okay. This could still end on a moment's notice if we get a double Doom Dance turn. Good so far, though. Wait, by mistake, consider player with Ben. Wait, that's to take an extra hit. Nice. Well, it's gonna take a lot for Dark King to consume 2 minutes and 40 seconds, although he can definitely waste some of my time if he deigns to. Alright, so he's level 23 set up here. Yeah, this is my first floor 6 run since sort of coming back to the game. Well, I say sort of, but I mean I did more off-stream practice than I did when I ran this in 2021. Hey! 235. Heck yeah. That feels good. I'm very annoyed that I wasted, probably 30 to 40 seconds or so just walking halfway to Fireburg when I was supposed to be going to Windia, but we can call that a successful floor 6 manipulation, I guess. We're done mashing text here, we can review the splits. Record is 225, 226 something. It's basically the any percent record before the shop glitch was discovered. For as seriously as I take this as a speed game, I think actually getting record is pretty far out of reach. When was my last PB? About 2 years ago. I think it was like September or October or something of 2021. Been a while. What made the difference in this run? Well, as soon as I'm done mashing text here, we'll look over the splits. Alright, so this run had a pretty good, very, very good start, actually. I got a crit on the behemoth, and then killed it the second turn, and then everything in level forest went very well, too. Like, I didn't have any misses with Haley or Ben, really, and no issues killing the Minotaurs. That's going to be a very rough split to compete against. Let's see, for Bone Dungeon, I had to re-roll a couple formations that I got 3 on. I think I was doing double button mashing when I shouldn't, talking to Tristram too, which extended that a little bit, and I just barely missed out on getting the sub 10 Rex. Yeah, let's see, the next 2 dungeons, pretty solid. Got a golden snow crab, which I didn't even notice. I thought I had a solid ice pyramid, but I made one mistake as far as looking away from my screen, basically, and then walking over the tile that you have to bomb in order to drop down to where Ice Golem is. And then the very last fight before Ice Golem trolled me a bit, and yet somehow I lost almost a minute there to my gold. But, well, got a sub 40 for the first time on Ice Golem. Exit Battlefield, I think I had 2 Sphinx fights that I had to reroll. Mines, the Jinskip segment was okay. Don't really remember anything there. Medusa killed me twice, I think. The first one, the first death, being a little on the slow side, but I still saved almost 3 minutes, well, 2.5 minutes or so there, just because of how horrible Medusa was in my previous PB. So yeah, I mean, I know first try Medusa was like 3.5 to 4 minutes saved there, so yeah, that's a thing. I had a couple Reuben misses in the volcano, which is always not great, but came out slightly ahead there. And then the Ghidra segment was where I made my mistake, where when I was walking back from getting Kaylee, I think it was, I just spaced out and went through the center door instead of the right one and didn't really catch it until I'd already left the towers. That was easily 30 to 45 seconds, I think, down the drain there just because of that dumb mistake. Let's see, I don't really remember the trees super well, but apparently it was okay given that I barely lost any time there despite that mistake. Let's see, Mount Gale. Made a mistake on Mount Gale as far as forgetting that Kaylee was on AoE targeting for her arrow spell, so I bungled a fight a little bit there. Then got a floor 6 Pazuzu and then almost died twice to the Pazuzu fight because of Kaylee getting stone beaked at bad times, but then Pazuzu having mercy on me and not killing Ben. Good. And then, like, I mean, it feels like losing a minute and a half there took some bad luck in the rest of the tower, too. In addition to the Pazuzu fight. But then, yeah, then Doom Castle. Yeah, it looks like the only floor I really lost time on was Stone Golems, which I think I did the... I mean, Stone Golems is the easiest floor to, like, make movement mistakes on, but I don't think I really did that. I think it was just, some slow fights here and there. Let's see, Twin Head Wyvern was a little on the slow side, but somehow I... Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. I missed exit on Stone Golem, so that dragged that fight out a little bit. But I remember a former runner of this game named Feral Pigman had literally a 4-minute Stone Golem fight in one of his runs, because even though it's a fight that you can win in 2 turns if it goes well, just because of getting petrified and or killed over and over and over again for 4 minutes. See, then yeah, then the the Wyvern fight was a little rough. Some of that was my fault, because I was trying to get out of having to seed Ben in the fight by having him heal Phoebe at one point. That ended up backfiring a bit, but not like in a spectacular way. Let's see. Then yeah, the zoo floor went pretty well actually. I don't think I actually had any deaths on the zoo floor, which is pretty rare given how easy it is to die to really any of the fights that have Cerberuses in it, because of them being able to petrify you, which neither of your character has immunity to. And yeah, and then the Dark King was pretty cooperative. Had to do the slower strat because of being level 23 instead of 24. But if you get floor 6, you're guaranteed, in this route, you're guaranteed to be 23. It's because you're not fighting enough extra stuff to have a chance at 24. And yeah, so I guess for future runs, the start is going to be a little depressing because of the Minotaur split. And I mean, Elmagus gets very, very consistent sub 10 Rexes, as do other high level runners. So I mean, there's certainly time to save there, but at least at my level, I wouldn't really say a lot. Definitely, I guess probably the first split I really have like significant time saves on is Ice Golem. Then, yeah, I mean, as always, could save time on Medusa by just not dying. That's easier said than done. Medusa is the worst boss in the game for this category. And not making movement mistakes on the Ghidra split will definitely help. And I feel like I should probably practice Pazuzu's Tower a bit more, because I'm sure I've just made some bad decisions in some of the fights there that cost me some time. I think I ran out of magic at least once too, and lost some time to that. Yeah, and I guess getting slightly luckier on Stone Golem is probably making better fights here and there too is probably my main Doom Castle time save, just because yeah, the zoo floor is going to be kind of rough to go against. Not impossible though. I mean, that wasn't a gold. But yeah, Zoo. I didn't have any deaths to regular encounters, and then Zoos gave me a lot of free turns. I mean, I did make that bungle a bit with forgetting to switch Ben from white to flare after killing the ads, but if that mattered, it meant just one extra hit to kill Zoo, so not really big of a deal.